Hi, everyone. I wanted to get everything in sync there. My name is John Nelson, the plugin CEO of JKLWorks at pluginbusiness.com. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to kind of see what we're doing here and see how this is going to work. Let me double check a couple of live things because they're live and I don't always have the chance to check everything. So here we are. But I wanted to talk to marketing agencies in particular, but also those who serve clients, who the clients might need some of this, what we're talking about to work through them. Now, that's generally marketing agencies, but it could be other folks. Say you serve a lot of business clients, whatever it is that you do, maybe financial professionals or something like that, or some other deal. We are business and marketing optimization specialists. This is something that we really get into. This is our passion. This is our love. This is our joy. This is what we enjoy. And so we can find all kinds of ways to find value for your clients that you may not have thought possible. And we can work to double their profit in 90 days. We can find them even more after that. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but it's a nice number that could more than pay for anything you do in addition to anything we do for them. And they'll be so happy they won't notice the difference. And around the world in places, times are tough, especially here in the United States. They're uncertain. There's a lot of things going on. People are maybe holding back ahead of what might happen after elections or after the new year, or the economy being what it is, depending on where you are. So this may be the thing that kind of propels people a little bit higher. This may be the thing that can help a business, whether it's yours or whether it's your clients who serve customers of their own, to thrive, to do things that are truly amazing. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about a strategy today that we have. I'm just trying to make sure all the buttons end up in the right spot. We put our heads together and came up with something called the 1090 turnaround. Now, this is around the concept for those of you who are engineer types or no engineer types. Maybe you've been in a refinery, a steel mill, different places that have large pieces of equipment that they cannot service all the time. So they have to have a calculated point in time. This happens a lot down here where I am in Houston, Texas. There's lots of refineries nearby where they actually shut down the entire system in a planned event. Takes a handful of days. They go in, do all the maintenance, 24-hour job. So they go in and do all the maintenance that they need to do and all the service that they need to do and all the repair that they need to do, and make sure everything is checked off and good to go and operating as it should be. Whenever everything is shut down, then they turn it all back on, and it begins to run anew in much better shape than when it was shut down. That's called a turnaround. And so for those who are not familiar, so we wanted to build this concept around that. And so this is a turnaround for your 10 worst performing clients, a special offer for them so you can see and understand for yourself and for your company how we can come alongside you and help you in ways that no other marketing agencies are doing out there. I don't see this. I don't see anybody offering. They're focusing on marketing things. And that's okay. That's what you do. That's your wheelhouse, right? But there's so much more to running a business than that. And if you can meet those needs as well as bringing them customers, then imagine the impact you can have, and imagine the clients that will come flocking to you because you're doing things that nobody else is doing for them. Just a thought. So I want to detail what that looks like, and I want to go over one of the strategies that we use. We did this last week. We were running late, sounding great just a little bit. We talked about a market dominating position, but that's out there for watching if anybody wants to check it out. We're a bit more polished this time, thankfully. So at least I hope anyway. We'll see how it goes. The time is yet young, but this is the concept that we came up with around the concept of the turnaround. So this is our 1090 turnaround. We'd like to take your 10 worst performing clients and turn them into your all-stars, turn them into your rock stars, turn them into some of your best performing clients in 90 days. How are we going to do that? We're going to double their profit. at least. We're going to start with that. And then the foundations that we put in place are just the beginning. And so this is an intro. This is a starter for what we do. If your agency wants to go through this right alongside them, awesome. We can do that too. And we'll do it for a special rate. So you get to see us, get to know us. And then if everything works out, then we ramp it up to what the regular engagement is. And who knows, you may have run out of services that you offer to these clients at that point, but they don't have to know that. We just keep coming alongside and adding that value and keeping them there and keeping them billing for you for a long time. And you can charge whatever you want to charge. We work through you to make that happen. So, all right. So let's kind of get into what this is. We take, as I said, we take your 10 worst performing clients and we go through the strategies that you're already doing. We don't want to duplicate anything because we're working through you. We're working alongside you. We're not here to steal your clients. We're not here to replace your clients. We've started out life as a marketing agency. We're business and marketing optimization specialists. So if there's anything you're not doing as well or not focusing on or just plain don't want to handle, that's more of a kind of a fundamental strategy. Maybe that's something we can implement for you on your behalf. As a part of this, and then we aim to get them results. Like I said, we aim to double their revenue, their profits. I'm sorry, that's a big difference actually, because the revenue is everything you bring in. The profits are what's left after you pay expenses, right? So we intend to double their net profit in 90 days at least, and then we'll put some other things in place that they should have had all along, and it will really make what you're doing easier. When you have strategies like what we're going to talk about today, a compelling offer. If they've never thought about a compelling offer and you weren't ready to work with them to create that compelling offer, well, that drives everything that they sell, right? It doesn't matter how many customers you bring. If they don't have a compelling reason to do business with them, then it makes that job so much harder, doesn't it? So we're going to give you some strategies around a compelling offer, and we'll talk about the 3 components, and then even give a formula that you can use or you can pass along to your clients when they're creating that compelling offer. All right. So what kind of form does this take? Well, 30 minutes a week with each client. We will meet with them, just the client and us, if you don't mind. So that way we can get the most productivity out of them. We will have a 30-minute monthly session, and we'll talk about some more things where you get to be involved along with your client, if you so choose, where you can see everything that's going on. We're going to try to implement one done with you. That's key, done with you, and we'll talk about that more in a second. But one done with you strategy per month, okay? One done with you strategy every 3 weeks. It's even faster time frame than that. So we only have 12 weeks, basically 90 days to make that happen, right? So one done with you strategy every 3 weeks so we can maximize the effort here. If they go faster than that, and it's possible that they might, then fine, we'll go faster. We have more. There's a lot of them we can pull from, as you'll see in a minute. But if they don't, then and that's as fast as they're capable of going as they're working through everything. Okay, fine. One every 3 weeks. That's how we know we can show, if we put those in place, we can really show that what we call real business life change for each one of your clients. So we work with them, as I said. We don't do this for them. Whether or not you do is up to you, but we do these strategies with them. That is the best way we found this works. We don't need to do it for them, getting all up in their business, because sometimes there's financials involved and stuff that they don't want us to see. That's fine. We would much rather you do this, so you as the client or our customer happens to be your client or you. We would rather you do this so you're invested in it. Okay. If otherwise it just doesn't work. And if we leave you to do it by yourself, well, you've had ample opportunity to do that and you didn't do it. Right. So here we are. So done with you is the absolute best approach. Now, in saying that, the client does work. We give our clients work to do, but we do work as well. For one of my clients this afternoon, I have a job application to review and edit for them. so we can see how we can make the best use of that and get them the employees they're looking for. Things like that. We do work and they do work. Okay, so it's a team and it's done with you, and that's the way it absolutely works the best. Now, okay, so this is for a special rate for those 90 days. One price per client for the 90 days to try us out, to see if this is something that could work for you, to see if this is something your agency could really have an impact with. And I'm not going to tell you the rate here, but I will tell you it's probably less than what you charge them per month. Okay. So we bill you, you pay it. This is a free thing for your clients, so there's no obligation to them, at least for that point. And then at the end of those 90 days, then it is our hope and our request and our wish and our proof, hopefully, that you will see what we did and see what the impact it is, and they will have more money than they know what to do with their profits doubled than they certainly had when we started. And certainly to cover any fees that either of us charge your clients. And so they will want to continue. And as they continue, that will be at the regular rate. And we'll bill that through you. And because we're billing you, and you can charge them up whatever you want. If that's the only project you have left going because you did the thing they asked you to do, you built their website, you ran their ads, or it didn't work, you got ads and SEO are a lot longer play, as you know. But websites aren't. And certain projects, maybe reactivation projects or different things that are systems that are set up or not. I mean, they're kind of set it and they just keep going. And you find little different ways to do them. Well, you could keep adding value. You could keep billing at a high rate on our back as we continue to add that value, because this could go on for a while. A real implementation to realize the kind of, I'm talking about dramatic savings, dramatic profit that we recover for them. It is multiple thousands of dollars. Okay, it can be if everything is done correctly. We'll find so much money for them and get them going that it could be. I mean, and every situation is a little different. Understand, but I mean, we'll be making them so much money they won't care. Because we will become through you a necessary expense for them that they cannot do without to continue to realize this stuff. And then they get to the point where they're operating as they want to be operating at peak efficiency. And then our job is done. And then we all walk away and everybody's happy. And we all get referrals for more business. They refer to your agency for what it was that you did, and for these business strategies that your agency brought along too. Hey, and so it just perpetuates into more business for everybody, and more work for everybody, and more profit for everybody, including and especially the clients, and a better quality of customer service for those clients by those clients. Which keeps their billing and their revenue coming in because they're doing everything the right way, the way they should have always done it, but maybe they got sidetracked, right? They're not dumb. They just get sidetracked. Life gets in the way, and you're trying to set up a business. And believe me, that's far more overwhelming than you might imagine. So things happen. But then you reset them, you show them the right way, and they start doing it, and nothing but good things, incredible things start to happen, right? That's how that works. Okay, so who are we to be doing all this? And man, I need to update that picture. It's actually a little out of date, as you can maybe tell. I don't know. Maybe you can't. But I'm 20 plus years of managing partner business and marketing optimization. Really, the marketing didn't show up until much later in the time, and I wished I knew some of the things that I went through, but I focused on every other aspect you can possibly think of. Started with IT, I've done human resources, purchasing, logistics, warranty, general operation, all sorts of things that make a business what it is, and learned some lessons along the way, had some success along the way, and got to learn and learn from a small group of managing partners right there with me that were a part of the same thing. It wasn't just me by myself. It was a group of us. And I got to learn some fantastic things from some fantastic people. And so that I bring all of those skills to this, and we have 40 plus strategies. I'm going to show you 40 of them briefly today, and then detail one as to what we can do for a business. And some of it sounds like common sense because it is, but you're still not doing it, are you? And so that's the approach we kind of have to take. It's like Dave Ramsey says, it's advice your God and your grandmother gave you. It doesn't mean it's necessarily, the newest, bestest thing. It is tried and true because it works. It has been around a long time because it works. It's just a shame it gets forgotten about sometimes. So we bring all of that to bear on what we do here and to every engagement. We're also business process fanatics. One of the first things I got to do when I worked at a maintenance and reliability consulting company 25 years ago, which started this journey over 25 years ago now, I guess, is map their business process. And I didn't have a clue what that was. But I learned very quickly and adapted, and it has made all the difference because it's building systems, building efficient systems around everything that you do is part of what makes this work. And why it can work so well, because you're building a repeatable system that everybody can follow, that the appropriate people can follow. So one hiccup in the system doesn't wreck you. Okay. This is a lot behind the book E-Myth Revisited. If you ever read that book or listen to it on audio, it's a fantastic book. And it's at the heart of a lot of what we do. Okay. So that's the general gist of this and why we can do this 1090 turnaround. So a bit about my little company, JKLWorks. We are, business and marketing optimization strategists. This is our 5 gold star strategy we have here. Foundations. We work we work on your foundations. We get you more leads, more transactions, more conversions, more transactions, and more profits. All that together. Here's just a glimpse at all the strategies, just many of the strategies that we use. And we put that all together into an ongoing relationship that we build with you. And we can do that in a number of ways. We can do one-on-one like we're doing here. We have a group opportunity that we may get going in some cases where we work with everybody at once, and our clients get to benefit from the entire community's wisdom. And there is oftentimes a lot of it there that you didn't realize, because there's a bunch of business owners. There's a bunch of small business owners. There's from startups to highly successful, and everybody in between. So we've all got our pieces of wisdom that have come along through the ages. So it's not just us. We learn sometimes from our clients things that we didn't realize or didn't appreciate until we go back and look at them. That E-Myth book recommendation is actually one of them that came from outside. So it's not anything I stumbled across. It was recommended to me, and there you go. Okay, so our base process works like this. We start with today. If you like what you see and you're ready to get started, and you go to turnaround.jkl.works, you're going to end up kind of here at our special business breakthrough strategy session just for these turnaround projects. If you just want a regular engagement, then it's definitely the business breakthrough strategy session. Same idea. We take about 22 minutes and we just talk to you about your business and see if we're all a good fit. See if you're in a place that you're ready to start. We do an assessment on your business that will tell you a lot. We give you that report. It's not necessarily it helps us, but it's also for you. And it's called a success blueprint. We do a minor version to start. We have full versions of it, standalone versions available. And that is for your business that has an actual location. We ask you lots of questions, and we generate lots of graphical information that's easy to follow in a report that's yours to keep. And you can see where you're at. You can use it as a benchmark to see where you're at versus where you're going and where you want to be. Digital Success Blueprint is for online businesses. They're a little different. They have national strategies or worldwide strategies, really. Their audience is a little different. The concept of something like a market dominating position functions differently for them than it does a local business, because it's hard it's hard to dominate your market when your market is the world, right? So we take little different approaches, but there's some things that they do that a local business doesn't do. Like content marketing, and a lot of those are marketing strategies, content marketing, SEO, some of the website things, and social media outreach is different. So we do that. Then we get to the actual strategies. Takes 90 days to start. If you like it, we keep going on, and we go from there. During that time, you'll get access. You and your clients will get access to our Success Academy. This is DIY training on all sorts of aspects of business, and even some 90-day strategies of their own that really do work. You get to see where we're going with this and why it works. But this is all DIY. This is all watch on your own time. If you want background, if you want context, if you want all these, why we're doing what we're doing, see some of what the end result is, and bring something to take notes on, because it is, just one session. They're not that long, but they are packed full of information. And so you end up watching them several times just to get the gist. And then we ultimately end up after the 90 days in one of our ProfitWorks situations, as far as you're concerned. Either the Jumpstart is more of a flash coaching type of on-demand sort of thing, and the ProfitWorks is our regular coaching opportunity. There will be, a group version of this coming at some point that will be similar. So that's us. Just a couple of other minor things real quick before we get to the strategies. And speaking of strategies, here's at least 40 of them right here. These are all the different ones. Most of these you'll recognize, and you'll go, well, how was that? I didn't know that was a strategy. What is there? Okay, so you're a marketing agency probably watching this. So most of these you're either familiar with, and hopefully many of them you're doing. If you're not, and you need some help with them, that's where we come in to help implement some of the foundational strategies in particular that you're not doing. For building websites, ads, SEO, content marketing, all social media marketing, that's you. You lead with that, you go with that, and that will make a tremendous difference. And I'm not demeaning it at all. It does work. We're doing it now. It does work. So, but we're here to come alongside maybe with some of these business strategies that are not necessarily in your purview. They're not things that you focus on, but I'll bet your client does. So we'll work with you to make that a reality and supercharge your profits for that. And then you start bringing them customers with the marketing strategies, and it just gets fun from there. It really does get fun. And you'll notice, we talk about the concept of real business life change. It's a culture change. You notice when people businesses start being profitable, and they can pay all their bills without any issue, and they can start bringing in customers, and they start celebrating wins. It just changes everything. It's just so much fun from a small business standpoint to do that. Don't ask me how I know. It's fun. It's not fun the other way. I promise it's not fun the other way. So we're here to help them. We're here to help turn that around. And that's what this is all about. Okay. So you saw the 40 strategies. We're going to focus on 5 of them. And we got more if they run out of those 3 weeks. So last time we talked about the market dominating position here. We're going to talk about a compelling offer today. There's cutting costs. There's alliances and joint ventures, which I think is just super cool. That more people are not exploiting this, and some are, but not enough are. This is the concept of white labeling jumps right into this, but it's not the only thing. There's so many cool things you can do with it. And then we also have policies and procedures, because if you're not developing repeatable systems, you're going to have problems over time. So we'll focus on those things. We'll add in some marketing fundamentals if you need us to, and like referrals and reactivations, because they sure do work. But they would fit nicely into these strategies as they build customers up and serve them extremely well. So that can make a huge difference. So that's what we're going to focus on today. Just a couple of final points. If you're really doing this seriously as a client of ours, you should be spending at least 2 hours a week as an owner, as a general manager, as a manager, as really, if you can, the higher up you go, you should be spending this time too, working on the business. This is not making sales calls. This is not troubleshooting or customer service or any of that stuff, or paying bills in the accounting department. Be it accounts payable or trying to collect accounts receivable as they come in. You should be building a system in your business that makes your business work better. That's what we're here to help you do. 2 hours. You should be spending at least 2 hours on your own doing that, or as a team doing that without us. And then we tack on our 30 minutes as a part of that situation. That's regardless of the time that you spend with us. That's just business best practices. This is what you should be doing. It's what we all should be doing and don't do enough of sometimes. So there's that. All right, let's talk briefly about the final thoughts here on the 1090 program. There is a kickoff meeting that we will have with you and your client together, so that you make the introductions. Everybody gets on the same page. We're representing you and we're going forward. Then we have the 30-minute weekly sessions. You're not encouraged to attend those, but you will get a report at the end of them detailing where your client is and kind of what they did, what we did, or what they had done previously, how they fulfilled the tasks and moved themselves along based on what we gave them to do, then what we talked about, then kind of what's going forward, sort of thing. You'll get the catch up. We'll have a 30-minute or we'll have a 30-day session where everybody's invited, and we'll chart progress together. And at the end, we'll have a final turnaround assessment, final turnaround report as to where we are now, what the results were, how far we came, how we can put everything together. And then from there, that's when the decision is made by the client whether or not to move forward. And you're just going to have to know, agency, that if they say yes, that's going to be at the regular rate. But we'll meet together. We'll plan that out before that happens, before they say yes or no. So you can prepare for how you're going to bill that, what you're going to do. We'll quote your prices. Again, we represent you in that entire process. We're not here to steal your client. We're here to work through you to make your client experience unbelievable and unmatched. Okay. All right. But in doing so, this is an accountability relationship. I know your marketing with them is somewhat of an accountability. You're relying on them to get you information. You're relying on them to do things. But we're talking about really hardcore working in your business to make it better. As not only us doing that, but especially your client committing to doing that. So we want to make sure before we start with them, and before you choose, as you're choosing your 10 worst performing clients, they have to be in a place that they're ready for this. They have to be in a place that they can't be that mad at you, I hope, anyway, because we have to all diffuse that, don't we? But they're just not getting the results that they need. That's the ideal scenario here. They're not getting the results they need or want. They know it can be better. You know it can be better. You're frustrated. You're frustrated for them, and you're frustrated at your company's role in this. Excuse me. But it's an accountability style relationship. We're not here to beat people up if they don't do anything, but we're here to we're going to be giving them things to do. We're going to be doing things with them. We're going to be doing a few things for them. But that's, working out on our own. So we bring it back to the team that's forming here, and for each individual client. And we're working together to move them forward, to double that profit and a whole lot more in 90 days and hopefully beyond. So be sure they're ready for that accountability relationship. That's all we ask. And we're talking about a lot of time spent, but as you know, this is never considered an expense. It never should be. If you're truly working on your business, if you're truly working on not only growing your business with customers, but making the entire process better, making the entire customer journey better, customer service better, improving everything that they do, that's not an expense. It's an investment. You are investing in your business because it will continue to pay dividends for a very long time if you do it correctly. So that's what we're all about here. Okay. This is what we do. This is what we preach. This is what we work with. And these are the approaches that we take throughout all this. Okay. So if that's something you're ready for, then you're going to love what's coming next. Because as you saw briefly, we're going to start talking strategy now. Now there is strategic marketing and there is tactical marketing in the world, right? The tactical marketing is a lot of what you do. It's building the website. It's running the ads. It's creating the content. It is generating the emails and the messaging around those emails and social media outreaches and posts and text messages and phone calls and scripts and all that sort of thing. It's all that, and then there is strategic marketing. There's things that are a little higher level, but they influence all the tactics. You talk about, you have all kinds of, you have a business and the main product or service that you offer and kind of what your business is all about. From there, you have pillars. From the pillars, then you have milestones. You have different ways of measuring success. And then for each one of those milestones to measure that success, and then to get to those 4 pillars that 3 to 5 pillars that you truly believe in your business, that you're truly what you stand for and what you're all about, then you have playbooks. Okay, so this is part of the playbook side of things, and that is creating a compelling offer. So this is an offer that is so good, that is so well thought out, that is, you've measured out your target audience and everything, that people would be idiots to say no to it. They will feel awful saying no to it. They can't imagine why they said no to it if they really stopped and thought about it and go, that's good. They must be losing. How can they do that? They must be losing money somewhere. How can they? I mean, I know what my stuff costs. How can they possibly make that happen? I better go help them to do this, because I'm getting so much for seemingly so little. That's a compelling offer. So let's talk about 3 components of that compelling offer as we head toward the end here. And then at the end, I will give you a formula that you can take away and you can use to create any sort of compelling offer. And it's stunningly easy when you do it this way. It really is. You'll be blown away at how much it helps. And we'll talk about the anatomy of that. Okay. So the first thing that your compelling offer should have is a market dominating position. Now, just a refresher for those of you who haven't been around much, or we haven't talked about this, every business has something that helps them, that makes them unique, that helps them stand out. You might even go to the level of it being a unique selling proposition. That's something a business or organization has that nobody else has. That's a unique selling proposition, right? So it makes them unique. It makes them there's only one like them in the markets that they're working on, and so then they're seemingly crushing it, right? So a market dominating position takes that one step further, and it's an important step. Okay, so you take the thing that makes a business unique or stand out, or is their unique selling proposition, and you say, okay, for my customers, what are their hot button issues? What are their things that they have to solve? What are the problems they have but don't want? What are the solutions they want but don't have, that are deep inside their head, that if somebody would only tag those and identify them and solve them for me, I will buy as much as I need to from them, because they are solving my problem. And so that is a hot button issue. And so that's what a market dominating position speaks to. So if you are solving your customers' hot button issues, they are 50 to 70% more likely to buy from you, hands down, because you're doing that. You're starting to get into referral territory in terms of the possibility of a sale that a referral brings. The probability is way up in the 90, depending on, it's 75 to 92%, depending on who you talk to, for referrals. This isn't that close, but it's there. And it reduces the number of touch points, the number of times that you have to come in contact with somebody with your brand before they see who you are and what you are and want what you have. Way back down from 25 to 100 to 5 to 8 times. That's important, because then you don't have to work as hard, and your cost per client, cost per acquisition doesn't go so high. So that's the power of a market dominating position. And so that's the first thing you have to have. That's the first component of the compelling offer. So let's figure you have that, okay? Second thing you have to have is high perceived value, especially in these times right now. And you just look around. If you don't believe me, look around at what other people are offering in all sorts of avenues. They are figuring out that I've got to find a way to show so much value for somebody that they think I'm, just giving this away for nothing, even though they're pretty much paying my cost for it. And I'll take a little bit of a leader on that, even though my costs are met, and in order to get that business a little later on. But even when you scale up and go to a higher priced item, that should have so much value with it that it's just unheard of. Say for example, one of those could be if I'm going to run ads for somebody, say it's meta ads, Facebook and Instagram. Well, I'll make sure their pages are built out and optimized and ready to go. Google, to make sure their Google business profile is built out, optimized, and ready to go. If you're doing YouTube, there's some other videos on there that aren't just advertisements. They're educational videos that really talk about your company, or your client's company, or your company, or your culture, or whatever it is, or different products that you have. That's adding value. That's spending extra time and effort that doesn't cost you much to help them provide it, or it doesn't cost you much to provide it as a company, but you can build that value add into everything that you do. And customers notice. If you're doing it right and you're selling it correctly, customers notice. Okay, so you got to have a high perceived value, especially right now. They have to think, whether or not they have to think that they are getting an incredible deal for the money that they're being asked to pay. And so that actually kind of goes, one of the things we talk about to generate extra profit is actually increasing prices. And we do it in such a way that you are showing them such high perceived value that you can do that within reason, and they'll still pay for it and they won't run, because you're okay. I'm up in the price, but I'm adding some more things to it. Okay. So never mind, those things don't cost me that much. You don't have to know that. But you're getting an incredible deal out of this in exchange for us having to raise prices. Okay. That's high perceived value. Most of you know that, but just in case, this is component number 2 of our compelling offer. So that offer has to have a high value, and it has to hit somebody's hot button issues. Okay. So we'll see all that come together in just a few minutes. Finally, our third component here is it's got to be direct, no jargon. It's just spell out what you're offering them. Make it simple, make it easy to understand, easy to follow. Resist the urge to throw in jargon. Resist the urge to whether it's from you, the marketing agency, throwing in jargon, or like, say, if you're a realtor and you're talking about selling houses, there's certain language that a realtor uses. They just do. And they're not unique in there. I'm not just picking on them. It's very, very true. There's certain language that you'll notice different niches use. So try your level best not to use that jargon. Make it a straightforward offer that anybody can follow, and they can decide for themselves, along with the other criteria, whether or not they're going to use it, because they'll understand it. And it's not a mystery, and it's not a shuck and jive or bait and switch or any of that. I mean, should never be a bait and switch anyway, but it's not kind of a shuck and jive. You don't get the feeling you're being hustled. It's just very much a straightforward offer of this. And it should have some risk reversal in it. And we'll talk about that in just a minute when we start talking about the anatomy of the offer. The risk reversal is very important in this. Because you have to take that all on yourself. Okay, so the 3 components: market dominating position, high perceived value, and a direct offer with no jargon. Right? Okay, so let's kind of put that all together and see what that looks like. So I'll get my mouse cursor out of the way and let you see this for a minute. This is a formula for a compelling offer. Okay. So it's the name of the program, product or service. Helps who? Well, helps what type of customer, what type of person is your person buying, to transformation in time frame. Okay, without the thing they don't want, but guaranteed. So So the name of your product or service, we're going to give you some examples in a minute, and if you start really thinking about this and filling in those blanks, you'll find this stunningly easy. So the name of your product or service or program helps helps which type of customer to transform in some time frame without the thing they don't want, guaranteed. Okay. That is the success formula. I'll leave it on here for just a second longer, and then we'll jump into just a couple of examples, and then please feel free to do your own. So, but like I said, you'll find this amazingly easy once you sit down and actually go through it. Okay, here we go. Apparently it is. Okay, so you all missed all that, didn't you? Oi! Okay. Okay, not sure how much of that we missed. So let's rewind, shall we? Not sure how that's going to work. Okay, so we may need to go back and just redo that again. But we'll try to be a lot quicker about it, and maybe you saw. So you know what? Let's just do this. And I apologize. This is live. This is I am my own producer, and so we may just record this and then post it back out here where you're watching this. So if you do want to know more, this you saw enough on the screen, and you want to know more of what it's all about, then certainly look us up. We'll make that happen. Okay. All right. So we're just going to come back to live. So we'll do that. And if you'd like more information and like it live, truly live without the technical issues, go to turnaround.jklworks.com if you like what you saw. And if you still have lots of questions, then go to strategy.jklworks.com or go to our website and scroll down and just make an appointment from there. I have a feeling we'll end up just recording this and reposting it, and then it will be out there, and we will try this for real live next week without the mic hiccup, I hope. So thank you so much for watching if you did, and for sitting through this, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.